So where did we stop? I told you on the posterior aspect we have like inferior vena cava. All this I already told you, isn't it? Like okay, caudate lobe. This is the caudate lobe. Anteriorly, you are finding the fissure for ligamentum venosum. That is the porta hepatis is continued. Posteriorly, I told you we have last three thoracic vertebra. It has two processes, caudate and papillary process. I told you the fissure for ligamentum venosum. Anteriorly, it is formed by greater sac, posteriorly by the lesser sac, part of peritoneum. Floor is containing the ductus venosus. Okay, this is also over. Then we were talking about visceral surface, isn't it? Okay, now let us talk the details of visceral surface. What are the various impressions it has? See, this impression, now this is the inferior aspect of the liver. On the inferior aspect, you are finding stomach impression, that is gastric impression. This is on the left lobe, left side. Okay, this side though it is not labeled, we actually have esophageal impression. Here you will have gastric impression. I'll show you next picture. Okay, after stomach you will see duodenum will be coming up. So this is duodenal impression. This is right lobe of liver. That's why right kidney. So right renal impression, right suprarenal impression, right colic flexure will be here. That is the colic impression. Okay, like this you have certain arbitrary impressions. Now this is the Netter's atlas picture where all green arrows are kept for our better understanding. So this first green arrow adjacent to the fissure for ligamentum venosum, we have esophagus. So after esophagus, this area you will have stomach, right? This is where area. This is gastric impression. Gastric. This side duodenum comes. Duodenal impression. This side right kidney comes. Right kidney, right renal impression. This area right suprarenal gland. Right suprarenal impression, and of course this area is bare area. Okay, this is important 5 marks question, and definitely your teachers will expect this answer when we usually take your viva during your grand practicals. Okay, very very important. You should hold the liver properly. You tilt it, then you will see the inferior aspect, then you show these impressions. I'll share this PowerPoint and learn properly. Slowly you will learn everything. Okay, what is this area between caudate lobe and quadrate lobe? Porta hepatis. Here the two projections from caudate lobe are little clear. Okay, so two processes I said. One is like a tail, caudate process, and adjacent will be papillary process. Caudate and papillary processes. Okay. So these are different pictures for our better understanding, and they are all labeled. You whichever is easy for you, you practice these. Okay. Again same, gastric, esophageal, gastric. Okay, here you will have duodenal, colic, renal, suprarenal. Okay. Now the visceral, see impressions. In order to understand impressions well, it becomes very easy for you. This is which lobe of the liver?
Right lobe.
अब right lobe के तरफ क्या है बेटा? Right kidney, right suprarenal gland. That's why right renal impression, right supra. You are trying to lift and see the impressions. Okay, this is right colic flexure, no? So this is right colic impression, isn't it? This side esophagus has entered. So here we will get esophageal impression. You will get stomach impression. This side you will get duodenal impression. Okay, this is gallbladder. So obviously what lobe we will have adjacent to the gallbladder? Quadrate lobe. Okay, that's how visceral impressions are formed by pressing up the abdominal visceral organs over the inferior aspect of liver. Okay, that compression of all these visceral organs will produce the impressions. Okay. Now what is porta hepatis? Chavi? Chavi is with us. Meghana? Porta hepatis. Ritika, what is porta hepatis?
Where the structures enter and exit the liver.
The structure, see this round area, the place where the structures enter and exit the liver. Very good, that is porta hepatis. What are the two structures entering? Ritika, name them.
जी मैम.
अंदर क्या है, बाहर क्या आ रहा? अब Now be specific. Now we are dealing exclusively with liver.
Okay, ma'am. Bile duct is coming out.
Excellent.
Hepatic vein and artery are going in.
Portal vein, beta. Portal vein.
Portal vein going in.
Portal vein and hepatic artery are going inside. And the bile duct. Yesterday we have studied so much. Right and left hepatic ducts join to form the common hepatic cystic duct will join it to form the common bile duct, isn't it? So this is the area. Bile duct is coming out. Portal vein and hepatic artery are going inside. Very good, Hansraj. Now let us see the physiological lobes and anatomical lobes. Can you summarize the anatomical lobes, Lokesh? Any lobes chusam beta? Abhinav?
4.
Name them.
Right lobe, left lobe, caudate lobe, and quadrate lobe.
Very good. Right lobe, left lobe, caudate lobe, and quadrate lobe. Okay, apart from that, we also have physiological lobes. We also have hepatic segments. Let us see what are these. Okay, as Ritika was telling us, basically, if you see from anterior aspect, you will see both lobes. The big one is right lobe and the smaller one is left lobe. Between these two lobes, you are finding one ligament here. Okay, what is the name of this ligament? Sickle-shaped fold of peritoneum. I have shown you in falciform ligament. It's a continuation of which ligament, Hansraj?
Teres.
Ligamentum teres. Very good. Okay. Now see here. Overall, if you see like this from posterior aspect, you are also finding two more lobes. No, inferior aspect. This is porta hepatis. Front you have quadrate lobe. Behind you have caudate lobe. Here actually in this labeling you are finding a tail-like projection from caudate lobe. What is the name of this projection?
क्या मैम?
ये caudate lobe से एक छोटा projection आ रहा बेटे.
Caudate and papillary process.
Caudate process. Very good. Here we are. उसके बाजू में रहेगा बेटा. So overall, how many lobes now?
Can you please show them those two processes? Like,
okay, I will show. I will show as well because nowhere it is labeled clearly, beta.
Achha, okay.
Okay. So now see here. So this is overall how many lobes we have? 4. Right lobe, left lobe, caudate lobe, quadrate lobe. Okay. That is it. Now physiologically, you tell we have only 2 lobes. Okay. And in order to draw the physiological line, we are just connecting the inferior vena cava with the cystic notch. Okay. If you draw one line like this, now our right lobes and left lobes were running from anatomically, you have divided like left lobe was small and right lobe was big. But physiologically, it is not like that. They are almost same because the line of partition, imaginary plane this is, which is running from the inferior vena cava and the cystic notch. Okay. You call it as polycysto vena cava line. Poly is the word which is generally used to represent gallbladder. No? Poly is gallbladder. Cysto is any bladder. Poly is gallbladder. Okay, and it is connecting the inferior vena cava like this. Okay, 2 lobes. Those are physiological lobes. Okay, so this is the demarcation. Now coming to here, I can show you better. You asked me the processes, right? So both the processes are very clearly. This is caudate lobe, and you are finding the tail-like projection here. Okay, the tail-like projection here is the caudate process. Adjacent to that, you are finding one more process, that is papillary process. Okay. This is Netter's picture beta. If you have Netter's atlas, you can appreciate also. All impressions are very well given. Everybody should learn this diagram. Now coming to anatomical way of classification, we have around 10 segments. Okay, hepatic 10 segments. Okay, what are those 10 segments? We have one plane we have already divided, that was running from the inferior vena cava to the gallbladder. We have divided the liver into right lobe and left lobe. If you just consider right lobe, it is divided into anterior part and posterior part. Okay, so this becomes anterior lobe. We have to get 10 segments. Keep counting. Okay, right has anterior and posterior. Okay, this anterior and posterior is further divided into each is divided into two, ऊपर एक नीचे एक, this also above one below one. Okay, the above one is actually called as anterior. This is whole thing is anterior, no? So above one will be antero superior, below one will be antero inferior, behind posterior superior, posterior inferior. Overall, how many segments we formed here?
4.
4.
Okay. See here, this is left lobe. Left lobe is further divided into medial and lateral. Okay. So medial, lateral. Again, what are the findings? So in the medial, you have antero superior and antero inferior. Okay, this one. Okay, antero superior, antero inferior. Then that means from the anterior aspect you are seeing this one. Okay, then as you go this side you will have, then this is lateral compartment. Okay, so this lateral one also will have lateral superior, lateral inferior. Okay, lateral superior, lateral inferior. Again here we have medial superior, medial inferior. So overall we will have how many segments? I said 10 segments. Okay, so like that we divide. These are the hepatic segments.
Yes, ma'am. Only 8. No.
1, 2, just a minute, beta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 are there, beta. This labeling is hidden by this screen sharing. How to do? Can you see now? इधर देखो 1, 2, 3, 4. हाँ, okay. 4, yeah. 8 segments. Yeah, 18 number segment. I'm sorry, beta. 8 segments. Okay. So now anteriorly you have 10 segments are bronchopulmonary segments. I'm sorry. In the lung, okay. In the liver we have 8 segments. Okay. So anteriorly we have like in the right lobe antero superior, antero inferior. Posteriorly posterior superior, posterior inferior. Left lobe on the medial side we have medial superior, medial inferior. Laterally lateral superior, lateral inferior. Okay. So these are the 8 segments we find in the liver. Is this clear?
Yes.
So these are the different colors have been shown, like we have seen for bronchopulmonary segments also different colors we can use. Similarly here also hepatic segments, different textbooks will give different colors. Okay. Sometimes there may be a extra lobe which may be like Azaiga's lobe was there for lung also, no? Sometimes it may be present. Similarly there may be a radial lobe for liver also. Okay. Now coming to the ligaments, some ligaments of the liver itself may be asked for like 5 marks question, or essay question may come like to specify the visceral surface and mention the ligaments in detail. So what are the peritoneal folds? We have discussed much in detail in our peritoneum lecture, isn't it? What is the name of this ligament? Falciform. The continuation of falciform, what are these 2 ligaments we have? Actually coronary, superior and inferior layers. They join to form right triangular, left triangular, isn't it? The continuation of journey, ligamentum venosum and then porta hepatis. At the margins of porta hepatis it continues as lesser omentum. Okay, these are all peritoneal folds, and the true ligaments are actually much thickenings we have, so which we find at the ligamentum teres, which is actually the continuation part of falciform ligament. Apart from that, I have shown you ligamentum venosum also, isn't it? On the posterior aspect, close to the visceral surface. Okay, this picture is actually showing how the peritoneum is moving. Okay, this green layer, this is all greater omentum, 4 layers of greater omentum. Behind we have mesentery. Okay, in front of this green area is all greater sac. This bluish area behind is lesser sac. No, this is lesser sac. This fold is mesentery. We have done so much in fact. Okay, so this ligament between the 2 lobes of the liver, which is just forming. ऐसा fan out हो जा रहा ना बेटा इधर और इधर. Coronary. Falciform, coronary. Right triangular.
Coronary word use कब करते मैम?
Coronary यानी पत्ते के जैसा है बोला ऐसा बेटा. It's like a leaf which spans. Coronary is it is usually used. Corona is a word which is usually coming from flower. petals,
Petals.
and it is usually red in color, no? That's why it is used in
more
different
ma'am.
हर जगह different way में उसके meaning के हिसाब से use कर लेते
Okay.
whichever is flat and expanded like a leaf or a petal of a flower, generally we use that word corona. Okay, coronavirus also. Okay. So this is coronary ligament. Okay, so this is, you can see the continuation of falciform only is forming the coronary. You can see the reflections of peritoneum, superior layer and inferior. So many times I am telling, right triangular, left triangular. Okay, this is ligamentum venosum, this is porta hepatis. Margins are giving attachment to lesser omentum. That's how it is shown, the continuation. You see, margins of porta coronary is like this: left triangular, right triangular. This is all coronary. This was for ligamentum venosum. Further continuation is for lesser omentum. Okay, so coronary is completely covering the liver except for bare areas. These are the areas which are not shown with bluish area, which is not covered with peritoneum, is bare area. Okay, so this is right margin is right triangular, left margin is left triangular. Okay, right triangular, left triangular. I kept many pictures. This is lesser omentum, extending from where? Porta hepatis to the lesser curvature of the stomach. Okay, margins of porta hepatis is giving attachment to the lesser omentum. Okay, so ligamentum teres was actually started from the umbilicus.
Umbilicus.
I told you it is a remnant of umbilical vein, obliterated umbilical vein. Okay. These are different pictures. This is ligamentum venosum. Already I told you. Anterior layer, greater sac, posterior layer, lesser sac, parts of peritoneum, ductus venosus. See. Here, this is actually fetal circulation is shown here. Here you have actually ductus venosus. Okay. So ductus venosus is actually connecting the umbilical vein with the inferior vena cava during embryonic life. Okay. Immediately after birth, it gets obliterated. Okay, and it remains as ligamentum venosum. What is the name of this vein? We know during fetal circulation, umbilical vein carries oxygenated blood.
Yes.
So no, that's why there is a shortcut. Okay, like we had ligamentum arteriosum between pulmonary trunk and aorta.
Yes.
Between the umbilical vein and the inferior vena cava, you have this ductus venosus. Remnant will remain, that is the ligamentum arteriosum. So these are the bare areas. Actually, this itself may come as 3 marks or 5 marks question. Non-peritoneal areas, nothing but called as bare area of liver. Okay, where we do not have, one is the bare area of liver, where else we do not have any peritoneal covering in the liver, the place where we have falciform ligament, the place where we have this cardiac impression, superior aspect of the liver, groove for inferior vena cava, fossa for gallbladder, fossa for fissure for ligamentum teres, floor of fissure for ligamentum venosum. In those depths, peritoneum is not extending. And porta hepatis area, margins is lesser omentum, but actual porta hepatis area where we have the entry and exit of these vessels and ducts, there also you will not find peritoneal covering. That's why these areas are non-peritoneal areas of liver. Okay. That finishes the cross features of liver. Then coming to the blood supply, I told you portal vein is carrying all nutrients. Okay.
Yes.
4 times it is giving more blood supply to the liver, 1200 ml. Hepatic artery only 1 time, that is 300 ml. 3 multiplied 4 times, 3 4s are 12. No, that's right. Okay. Venous drainage. Portal vein is actually carrying a mixed type of blood which is rich in nutrients. Through portal vein, yesterday we studied, no? Central vein, it will be draining into hepatic vein. Hepatic vein, sinusoids. And this will drain into inferior vena cava. The connection is hepatic portal vein going into the central veins. Okay, then it will drain into hepatic vein. Then it will drain into inferior vena cava. So how many hepatic veins are there? There are 5 in number. And I told you liver is kept in position, it's not falling down because hepatic veins are all opening into the liver. Okay, you see 5 1. Of course this is not 3D picture, but at least few we can see. This is portal vein. Portal vein tributaries will open into hepatic vein. So all these three are shown here. 1 2 3. From the other side 2 more will be there. So 5 hepatic veins will open into the inferior vena cava. Okay, they are collecting the venous blood. Okay, this is the portal vein. You can see the ramification. Correspondingly, the hepatic veins are starting. Finally, they are carrying the blood to inferior vena cava. This is porta hepatis area with VAD structures. Okay, hepatic artery, portal vein, and bile duct. Okay, it is something like this. So many, like this trunk is actually representing the inferior vena cava, and whatever branches which are opening here inside are actually the hepatic veins. Okay, that is. Now coming to the lymphatic drainage, we have superficial set of lymph nodes and deep set. Superficial set, they are actually draining into supradiaphragmatic, then hepatic. Here we have celiac group of lymph nodes and paracardiac, that means on either side of the heart. Okay, so all these lymph will be moving to these group of lymph nodes. Then deep set will again go to supradiaphragmatic and hepatic group of lymph nodes, first two. Finally, whole of the lymph, where is it going into? Thoracic duct. Very good. Thoracic duct through cisterna chyli, isn't it? So different colors are used to represent different lymph nodes. Here, parasympathetic nerve supply always comes from which nerve?
Vegas.
Vagus. Vagus. Okay. Parasympathetic is coming from vagus. Okay. Sympathetic nerve is actually coming from the ganglions here. Sympathetic chain. Okay. Thoracic sympathetic chain. Okay. Then applied aspects. When we know liver is a very big gland, when it is ruptured, bleeding will occur. Okay, as hepatic veins are unable to collapse, they are opening in the inferior vena cava and holding the liver upwards. No? So generally they don't collapse. That's the reason there will be heavy bleeding. Okay, so normally normal liver is not palpable only in case of hepatomegaly. That means when the size of liver is increasing. Generally we see in viral infections like hepatitis, and also in case of fatty change of liver.
Malaria
In case
also.
in case of
Splenomegaly. That is
basically
splenomegaly.
splenomegaly, but sometimes liver also may be enlarged due to malarial infection, but rare cases. Okay, basically alcoholism, okay, and viral infections, and sometimes very rarely worm infections also. Okay, that is. So we can see cirrhosis of liver. I'll show you all this. Okay. See, this is the way we generally palpate the liver. Okay. So this is the costal margin, isn't it? 7th to 11th, I said it is present below those ribs, isn't it? So that's how we need to palpate the liver. Okay. So needle biopsy, this I already told you. Between 9th or 10th intercostal space, you insert the needle and you will be reaching into the liver tissue and you can collect the tissue from liver to check if there is any cancer. Biopsies generally we take to rule out any carcinoma. Okay. So liver can undergo any sort of change, degeneration, necrosis, hepatitis, fibrosis, cirrhosis. See, this is healthy liver. In case of inflammation, basically there will be fatty change. Lot of glycerol will get deposited in alcoholic people. Okay, because alcohol will be converted to glycerol and it will get converted to fat. After fatty change, steatosis it is called as. After steatosis, you will see it will become inflamed, hepatitis. After that, the parenchymal cells of liver will get degenerated and all fibrous tissue will form. You call that condition as cirrhosis. See, like this. Normal parenchyma is not there. All collagen fibers which are non-functional, which cannot do any of the function, that fibrous tissue forms. You call it as cirrhosis. Okay? So the healthy liver looks like this. Damaged liver, color is changed, contour is changed, texture is changed. Okay. So alcohol is the major cause of liver damage. Okay. So this may on long run, the alcoholism If the person, we keep telling patient not to take alcohol, but despite of that, if they continue, it may lead to liver cancer also. After cirrhosis, basically liver has enormous power of regeneration. Only if small part of liver is also healthy, if person is stopping alcohol, that small part of healthy part of the liver will regenerate the whole liver. So such great regeneration capacity liver has. But if you abuse more, if you do not take care of your health, if the patient is continuously abusing, then what happens? Even it cannot stand for a long run, isn't it? As such, our diet is not good nowadays. Everywhere pesticides. See, cancers were not so common previously, but now cancer is the major cause of death of all population, isn't it? So KCR has opened all bar shops. Not important. So what is this? We all doctors should protest. It is bad, no? Okay. What to do? Okay. Now see, this is carcinoma. Now what is this condition? I told you when I was
Varicosis.
some other word I have used.
Uh,
Caput medusae. Very good.
oh
Ritika.
yeah. Yes.
What is this condition? Liver failure. Ascites. Accumulation
What now?
of ascites. Ascites. I told you peritoneal dialysis also when I was talking about peritoneum. Ascites. Ascites. Okay, accumulation of the excessive peritoneal fluid, because liver is concerned with the production of plasma proteins also, albumin, globulin. Okay,
Yes.
and because plasma proteins are less, the plasma is leaking and accumulating in the peritoneal cavity. The tummy becomes so much pendulous with excessive accumulation. You see, alcoholic people will have tummy which is protruding, bulging outside. No, that is ascites only.
मैम
है ना?
मैम मेरे घर के पास एक जना रहते हैं,
अच्छा.
गैल ब्लैडर में स्टोन है,
Okay, okay. Gallbladder. अच्छा.
क्या बोलते हैं, पॉलीसिस्टाइटिस है मैम.
Litho something.
Polycystic.
नो नो, वो तो स्वेलिंग है, स्वेलिंग भी है और
Lithosis something, no?
Polylithiasis is the
lithiasis.
formation of gallstones,
Stones.
which I told you yesterday, isn't it?
Mm.
So I told you liver has enormous power of regeneration. One Telugu actor's daughter also has donated some liver fragment and it has completely regenerated. 2-3 years back that news has come, I don't remember. Okay,
Oh.
that means even if the person's liver is highly damaged because of cancer, again we can keep a piece of healthy liver which can completely regenerate. Okay, like this small piece of liver.
What is the time of its regeneration? Like usually?
It takes time, but at least 6 months, 1 year, but it is fast only.
Okay.
Enormous, because still it will have totipotent cells.
Right. Okay.
So the bare area surgical, so bare area of the liver is clinically important because it is the place where infection can easily spread from abdominal cavity to thoracic cavity. Okay. So that's it, but I hope you understood. Okay, we'll stop here.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
But I am asking you to